mid-January. The planner is still pretty. The energy, not so much. And you're asking yourself, is this the year I finally feel better? Or am I already heading towards another flare? I've been there. Welcome to the Stronger Than Autoimmune Podcast, from boardroom to break room. This is a space for women who run meetings, manage households, and still feel completely wiped by mid-afternoon. You don't look sick, but your body is still working overtime. And here, that is what we talk about. If this podcast has ever helped you feel less alone at 2 a.m., take 6 seconds and leave a review. It helps the next woman who's Googling normal labs. Why am I still exhausted? That is how she finds us. So, Desiree here. For years, I treated my mid-month crashes like they're a part of adulthood. More coffee, more grit, less listening. Until one day, I almost fell asleep driving home from work. That was my body saying, we're done pretending. Like a phone stuck at 1%, still making emails, still taking calls, but one notification away from completely shutting down. This podcast exists because women with autoimmune disease are quietly pushing through work, afraid to be seen unreliable, dramatic, or replaceable. Today, I'm sharing some science-backed tools designed specifically for women with autoimmune disease who are working full-time and carrying real responsibility. These are regulation strategies, not wellness trends. So the first tool is cold exposure. And let me just say that if you have some cold problems or any sensitivity to cold, please do not do this. Be very smart. So cold exposure works because it activates the sympathetic nervous system and briefly increases dopamine, which improves alertness and reduces perceived fatigue. According to Uberman Lab, brief cold exposure can raise dopamine levels without depleting later, like caffeine does. A 2021 study in the Journal of Physiology showed cold-induced norepinephrine, the release it gives out, it helps suppress inflammatory cytokines involved in autoimmune disease. How do you release this norepinephrine at work? You could hold a cold beverage or an ice pack against the inside of your wrist for 30 to 60 seconds. Run cold water over your wrists in the restroom. Step outside if the weather is a little cold. But if you're not at work, what can you do? A cold shower for 30 seconds. At the end of your shower, your regular shower, cold water in the face. Also, you could step outside. This helps reset energy without stressing your immune system. Tool number 2, nutrient timing window. I'm not talking about fasting. We're just trying to regulate your time of eating. It's more of a metabolic regulation. So functional medicine research shows that eating within a window of 8 to 10 hours helps stabilize insulin, lowers oxidative stress, and reduces inflammatory signaling, especially important for thyroid and autoimmune conditions. In a 2022 review in Nutrients found time-restricted eating was associated with reduced autoantibody levels and improved inflammatory markers in rheumatoid arthritis. How do you do this at work? It means protein-forward lunch, not carb only. Stop grazing between meetings or stop grazing between meals and eat before a long afternoon call or meeting so you can avoid those cortisol spikes. This prevents the 2 to 3 p.m. crash that feels like your body is buffering like YouTube in 2007. So how do you do this at home? Finish dinner earlier when possible, prioritize protein, and a little bit of carbs at night so you could sleep good. This really helped, like I said, my sleep. When I added a little bit of carbs with the fiber, it eliminated that wired and exhausted feeling at bedtime. Tool number 3, movement snacks, not crazy workouts. If you are so tired that you could hardly move and it feels like cement blocks are on your legs, that's how I felt. This is how you can slowly start working up to running, lifting weights if you want to. Autoimmune bodies don't respond well to intensity. They respond to circulation and consistency. Dr. Isabella Wentz highlights that gentle movement improves lymphatic flow without triggering flares. A 2019 study in Frontiers in Immunology shows that low intensity movement regulates immune response and reduces inflammation. What does this mean at work? You could stand during calls, walk during calls, do some calf raises during calls if you cannot stand up and you're tired. Shoulder rolls during meetings, light marching while reading emails. So at home, this could look like gentle stretching while cooking or calf raises, walking after dinner, doing light mobility work or stretching before bed. Okay, something you could think about in doing this movement is walking the mall while window shopping. Remember that? Not CrossFit. We're not doing crazy CrossFit. Tool number 4, wind down. So chronic stress, as you know, keeps cortisol elevated overnight, fueling inflammation and worsening morning symptoms. Dr. Gabor Mate shows that unresolved stress impacts immune regulation. A 2020 study in psychoneuroendocrinology found evening wind down rituals significantly reduce IL-6 inflammation by providing sleep quality. What does this mean at work? Write tomorrow's to-do list before closing out and shutting down before leaving. Close email intentionally. Physically leave your workspace. And so that means if you work at home, make it where you're completely shut down. You do not go into that room or clean your space up before you say goodbye to work. This signals safety to your nervous system. What do you do at home? Dim the lights 1 hour before bed. Have some herbal calming tea. And one sentence that can help is, what can wait until tomorrow? What you should think is, think more of the reruns of Friends. Have that type of energy. The fun, romantic comedy, not the late night CNN chaos or news. So what does this mean? It means your body is giving you feedback. Mid-January crash doesn't mean failure. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're regulating. And when we normalize autoimmune realities in the workplace, we don't just help individuals, we change systems. For personalized support, check out my website, Desiree Werland, for private coaching. For corporate wellness and retention strategies for people that have autoimmune disease, go to my employer page. You are capable, you are intelligent, and you are absolutely stronger than autoimmune. I'll see you next episode.